Hi. All right, so I'm going to try to do the thing where I don't start really introducing myself till people are logged on to the live stream. But yeah, I'll introduce Mingus first. Okay. Hi, everyone. This is Mingus. He's going to be helping me teach today. And I am Bobbie, if you've never been here before. And today is Thursday, so we're doing Yin Yoga. If you've never taken a Yin Yoga class, it's a lot more relaxed and meditative. I mean, all yoga is pretty meditative, but you will be holding the poses for longer. Hi. We'll be holding the poses for longer, about 3 to 5 minutes per pose. So you may not go in as deep into the pose as you normally would in like a hatha or vinyasa class. But yeah, you want to find the balance between effort and ease, which in Yin we call finding your edge. So yeah, it's like the point in the pose where you feel a stretch, but it's not too overwhelming. It should never be painful, and it's not too underwhelming, so where you don't really feel anything. And just the point in the pose where you're able to hold it for a while, and then as you breathe, you should hopefully be able to sink deeper into the pose. And this type of yoga also targets the ligaments and joints. Rather than the muscles, you want to have as little muscle engagement in the body as possible in each pose. So yeah, we'll really be getting into stretching the muscles and joints. I mean, a little bit the muscles, ligaments and joints, and even the bones. So yeah, let's get started. Oh yeah, and as far as props go, I would grab as many props as you can. If you don't have like actual yoga props at home, just grab a bunch of pillows and blankets. Grab all the pillows and blankets in your house if you want. Otherwise, if you do have yoga props, I like to have 2 blocks. Or if you don't have blocks, you could use like a book about this size. Oh, thank you. And I'm looking forward to class with you guys also. Okay, sorry, just reading the comments. Yeah. Oh yeah, I also have a bolster, which is basically like a fancy pillow, and then a blanket as well. Yeah. And if you'd like essential oils and stuff, I'm using frankincense today. Since it's associated with the Crown Chakra, the chakra that we are going to be working on opening up and balancing out today. So from here, we're going to get started actually sitting up on the heels. So on your knees, heels underneath the sit bones. If you'd like, if this is too uncomfortable on your knees or your quads or whatever, you can place a block or pillows or whatever underneath the sit bones on any height, so you could have it up high, or you could place 2 blocks under here or a bunch of pillows, whatever feels best in your body. So find that comfortable seat, and if kneeling is just not working at all for you, you can just come to a comfortable cross-legged seat or any other type of seat that you can hold for a while we center in. And then once you arrive in your seat, begin to close the eyes, relax the face, and slow down the breath. Breathing in and out through the nose, making your inhales as long as your exhales, and your exhales as long as your inhales. Really feel the belly and then the middle ribs, upper ribs rise as you inhale. And then as you exhale, feel the upper ribs, middle ribs, and belly lower down with each breath. Keep taking full, deep, even breaths, just like that. If you have Ujjayi breath in your practice, you may take that now as well by constricting the back of the throat, making a ha sound with the lips closed. Really focusing all your awareness to the breath. Let go of what happened before you came to your mat today, and let go of what might happen after. Allow yourself to become completely present in this moment. Let go of any other thoughts that may come to mind, noticing them, observing them, but letting them go with each exhale, allowing your mind to be quiet and clear. And maybe even begin to imagine a glowing purple or violet or white orb, or even a glowing purple or white lotus flower at the crown of the head. And let that glowing symbol, that whatever you chose above your head, to grow, let it grow bigger and brighter with each breath that you take. So, like I said today, this class is all about the Crown Chakra, which is the 7th chakra. It's also known as Sahasrara, which means thousandfold in Sanskrit. And the symbol for this chakra is like a 1,000-petaled lotus. So maybe even if you're imagining a lotus on top of your head, maybe imagine it with like 1,000 petals, which is a lot. So the functions of this chakra are connection to the divine, and that doesn't have to have like a religious meaning or a spiritual meaning, really. Because I'm not really a religious person. It's cool if you are, and if it does have a religious meaning for you, then that's cool. But it could just mean like connecting to something that's bigger than yourself, like finding the oneness with like the universe, something like that. Or, yeah, whatever you picture it as. It also, another function again is oneness, or like finding unity and oneness with everything that surrounds you, with the whole earth, the whole universe. Wisdom, spirituality, inspiration, charisma, meditation, and your higher self. It's associated with the element of consciousness. And the main obstacle of this chakra to overcome is attachment. So being able to let go of things that don't necessarily serve you anymore. This chakra develops in the human body between your mid-teens all the way up until death. It's located above the top of the head, the crown of the head, and the colors associated with it are violet or white. And so I've always associated the chakra, because they're all supposed to be associated with planets as well. And I usually just go off of one of the books that I had for my yoga teacher training. But I wanted to look into more of like why certain chakras were related to certain planets. And so I tried looking it up, and literally every site that I went on said that the crown chakra and like the other, they were all associated with different planets. So now I'm like a little unsure of which planet the crown chakra is associated with, and I'll have to look into that more. But the original one that I associated the crown chakra with was Uranus. An imbalance of the crown chakra, so chakras can become blocked, or they can become excessive in the body. And an imbalance of the crown chakra could cause things like depression, alienation, other mental illness, neuralgia, confusion, vein and blood vessel issues, senility, lymphatic system issues, bacterial issues like warts and rashes as well. So those are some like more both physical and mental things that you may notice if you're having a blockage of or imbalance of the crown chakra. So I'm also going to read off affirmations for every pose that we get into tonight. Just something for you to meditate on, like little motivations, little inspirational things that will help you really tune into your crown chakra, that you can either repeat after me out loud or in your head, or just any point during class or whenever in your life you're feeling an imbalance of the crown chakra. And I'm going to start with the first one that I have for you, and that is, I am part of the divine. I am part of the divine. And then I wanted to come into another pranayama or breath practice. The one that we're going to be taking today is called Kapalabhati, which roughly translates into skull shining breath, which is why it kind of clears the mind and really connects you to your crown chakra. But also, I know that someone was kind of looking for more core work in this class, and there really isn't any. You don't really do a lot of muscle engagement, but this specific pranayama practice actually helps strengthen the core. So that is a benefit from it. And yeah, basically it's forceful exhales, really pressing with your belly to force the exhales out. And then your brain will just automatically inhale in between. And they're very short, jagged breaths. And we're going to start with doing a round of 12, and then take a few regular breaths, a round of 24, take a couple more regular breaths, and then a round of 36. And there are some reasons why you shouldn't practice Kapalabhati. And if you have any of these contradictions, then you can just take deep, even breaths while we're doing this. So if you are pregnant, or on your moon cycle or menstruating, that one is I think the moon cycle one is more up to the person practicing. Like I myself don't have any issues with it, but some other people might. But definitely do not practice if you're pregnant, if you have heart disease, uncontrolled hypertension, epilepsy, seizures, panic disorder, or on a full stomach. It won't kill you if you're on a full stomach, but it just won't feel very good and won't be very beneficial. So yeah, let's get started. I'll demonstrate first a round of 12, and then we'll all start doing breathing together. And if you'd like, you can bring the hands to the belly to kind of feel your belly press in and out and kind of help it. If you've never done any breath work like this before. So you'll start by inhaling through the nose, and then so really force the exhales out, short and jagged. You can if you want to practice real quick doing a little slower, I'll demonstrate that. You inhale. So it's a little weird. And if you feel like you're getting lightheaded at any moment or dizzy, then I recommend just stop and just take deep, even breaths. So let's get started all together, starting out with 12 counts at your own pace. Then take a couple deep inhales and exhales, and then we'll go to 24 counts, and then 36. So inhale through the nose. That was the round of 12. And then inhale to begin, round of 24. And then the next is a round of 36. So inhale to begin. And then just take deep, even breaths in and out through the nose. Take a moment to notice how the body and mind feel now compared to when you first came to your mat. You should feel a little warmer. So for your warming breath, it's energizing. It strengthens the core, cleanses the body and mind, oxygenates the body. It improves digestion, circulation, and clears the senses. So from here, we're just take a little bit of a mudra practice. The mudra that we're going to come into a few times during class today is called Lotus Mudra or Padma Mudra, to represent the lotus of the crown chakra. And you'll start with the palms together at heart center, and then remove the 3 middle fingers so that only the pinkies and thumbs are touching. I'll move closer to show you. So yeah, kind of looks like a lotus flower. And that's our mudra for today. So from here, start with your lotus mudra at the heart. Then on an inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Bring your lotus mudra back at the top. Exhale through the mouth, lotus mudra to heart center. And then from here, we're going to move into a little bit of a foot and ankle stretch. It can be pretty intense, so just remember, find your edge. Use any props that you will need. And so we're going to be sitting up on the knees again, but instead of having the toes untucked with the tops of the feet on the ground, you're going to tuck the toes underneath to sit back on the heels with the toes tucked underneath. So this can get pretty intense, especially if you're holding it for a while, which we'll be holding it for about 3 minutes. You can always place a block underneath the sit bones or any pillows or anything that you have, or books, or just sit back on like this. If it becomes to get too intense at any moment, you can always just bring your weight off of your heels and just bring the hands forward for a moment. But do your best to try and focus on your breath, clear the mind, and come back to that intention, or I'll read off an affirmation in a second. But yeah, bring the lotus mudra or Padma mudra to heart center while you're in this pose. Relax the belly, relax the shoulders down. Close the eyes, relax the face, and breathe. I honor the divine within me. I honor the divine within me. Just a few more breaths here. Try and hold it if you can. It should never be painful, but this stretch should feel pretty intense. And then on your next exhale, you can release the hands down in front of you, untuck the toes, and just kind of pat the feet out a little bit. And that pose is really good for stretching out the feet, especially if you're someone that's working on your feet all day, very active, or even if you wear like heels or something to the office. It's really good to stretch out the feet, and it's really good to help help with balance and stuff, really grounding through all four corners of the feet when you're standing, and getting your walking and balance in. All right. And then from here, we're going to come into rabbit pose. So we're going to start kneeling again. You're going to bring the crown of the head as close to the knees as you can get it, with the crown of the head onto the earth. And then you're going to take the hands and grab onto the heels and lift the hips up. And if that's too intense, you can always bring some height underneath the head with like a blanket or a pillow or bolster. You can always pad the knees if you need. Just remember to find your edge, the balance between effort and ease. And we'll be here for about 3 to 5 minutes. So really quiet the mind, focus on the breath. Use your breath to help you release tension. I seek to understand and to learn from my life experiences. I seek to understand and to learn from my life experiences. And on your next inhale, slowly begin to sit the sit bones back on the heels. Roll up through the spine, one vertebra at a time, to sit up nice and tall. And then from here, we're going to make our way into our squat pose, or Malasana. So for that, let's start with the feet about a little bit wider than shoulder width distance. Heels point in, toes point out. And then just begin to bend into the knees. Bring hands to heart center. Maybe you come back into that Padma Mudra, that Lotus Mudra. Gently press the arms into the legs and the legs back into the arms. And since we will be holding this for a while, I do recommend placing something underneath the sit bones, maybe a couple pillows, a block, a bolster, whatever you have. So you can kind of relax a little bit more and focus on working into the hips. Once again, close the eyes, quiet the mind, find stillness. I cherish my spirit. I cherish my spirit. Carefully release the hands down. You can blink the eyes open. Begin to lift the hips up. Parallel the feet, so both feet are pointing out straight in front of you. And you can begin to hang over the legs. Maybe clasp opposite elbows, or just let the arms hang. And you don't have to have completely straight legs here. You can have a deep bend in the knees if you need. Once again, find your edge. Then once you arrive, you can close the eyes, or if you don't feel comfortable with that because of balance, then just feel free to have a soft gaze on something, a focal point that's not moving. You can bring the feet in a little closer if you'd like. And you may be tempted to sway a little bit from side to side, but just try to find stillness. Relax the head and neck completely so that the crown of the head reaches down towards the earth. Breathe deep into the belly. Use your breath to help you release tension. I seek experiences that nourish my spirit. I seek experiences that nourish my spirit. On your next inhale, carefully release the arms if you clasped opposite elbows. And then everyone bring a deep bend into the knees and slowly, very slowly, start to roll up through the spine, one vertebra at a time. Shoulder blades then roll down the back, palms spin open, and the head lifts up last. Tadasana, mountain pose. Feel free to step the feet a little closer together, either hips width distance apart, or you can bring the feet all the way together. We're just going to stand in Tadasana for just a moment, grounding through the feet. So maybe lifting up just the toes, spreading the toes nice and wide, and then trying to lower them down one toe at a time. And from the feet, begin to engage the muscles of the lower legs. Engage the quads so the kneecaps begin to lift up. Engage the abdomen, and then lengthen the tailbone downward. So kind of tilt the pelvis forward so that you're lengthening the tailbone down, really pulling the belly button in towards the spine. Lift the heart. At the same time, try not to jut the ribs out, but knit those ribs in. Roll the shoulder blades down the back. Head stacks on top of heart and heart over hips. Feel rooted down into the earth through the feet, yet light and lifted through the heart and the crown of the head. Take a few deep breaths here, either with the eyes closed or a soft gaze out in front of you over the horizon. I listen to the wisdom of the universe. I listen to the wisdom of the universe. And from your Tadasana, carefully begin to make your way back down to the floor. We're going to bring the feet out in front of us into a diamond shape or butterfly shape. So bring the soles of the feet together, knees open wide. And instead of making it like more of a butterfly pose where the feet are closer in towards the body, we're going to bring the feet out a little further. Begin to sit up nice and tall. Take an inhale. Then as you exhale, begin to fold forward, bringing the forehead down towards the feet, maybe even placing a prop underneath the head in between this space if you don't reach the feet. And if you are looking to deepen the stretch a little more, maybe slide the forearms underneath the calves, palms face up so you're not tempted to pull yourself forward. And instead, let your breath and gravity do the work for you. So as you breathe, slowly release tension, and you may notice that your body will naturally sink deeper or fold further down into the pose. Really relax all the muscles, relax the belly, relax the legs, relax the shoulders, relax the face. Close the eyes if you haven't already, and find stillness. I trust my intuition. I trust my intuition. On your next inhale, slowly walk the hands in. Lift yourself back up to sit up nice and tall. And then make your way back to sit up on the heels. Bring the big toes to touch. You can keep the knees together or open them up wide. Then reach the arms out in front of you. Keep reaching the hips back down towards the heels. Lower the forehead down towards the earth. If this is hard for you, if it's hard for you to reach your forehead down toward the earth in this pose, you can take some props, place them underneath the torso and the head even, or even just the head, to help bring the earth closer to you. allowing yourself to feel more comfortable in the pose and able to hold it for longer. Then once you arrive, close the eyes, relax the face, bring all of your focus and awareness back to the breath. Let go of your thoughts. And find stillness. I am open to letting go of my attachments. I am open to letting go of my attachments. On your next inhale, slowly begin to walk the hands back in towards the midline, coming to sit up nice and tall. Bring the knees back together if you had them open wide. Then just set the hips off to one side so that you can lengthen the legs out in front of you. Then bring the soles of the feet onto the earth about hips-width distance apart. And then slowly begin to roll down through the spine, trying to use your core here. You don't usually turn your core on for Yin Yoga, but why not today? It's just a moment. And then, make sure you have a prop or a couple props with you. We're going to be going into supported bridge. So I'm going to be using a block, but feel free, if you don't have a block, use your book or probably a few pillows. You'll probably need more than one pillow for this to get some height, but that's up to you. Bring whatever prop you're using underneath the sacrum, so like the top of the pelvis, just above the tailbone, on any height that you'd like. So I'm gonna do the high height today because I like back bends. Roll the shoulder blades underneath the back. Usually you don't need much muscle engagement here, but try not to let the legs splay open to the sides. Try to keep them pointing straight up towards the sky. And then you can keep the knees bent, or maybe even to deepen the stretch, lengthen them out long. If you begin to feel any tension or pinching in the lower back, then bend the knees back. Close the eyes, relax the face, breathe deep into the belly. I live in the present moment. I live in the present moment. From here, slowly begin to blink the eyes open. Begin to press into the heels till keep the hips on your props. And we're going to lengthen the legs up toward the sky. You may need to adjust the height of your prop, and you may need to adjust the position of it. For when you lengthen the legs up the sky, it should actually feel pretty easy to keep them up there. So if it's not, then you probably need to either adjust the height, maybe giving yourself more height, maybe less, kind of figure that out, and then adjust. You may need to adjust the placement of your props underneath the sacrum. Once you arrive, you can let the eyes close, relax the face, focus on the breath, be present, maybe coming back to that visualization of the glowing orb or lotus flower at the top of the head, growing bigger and brighter as you breathe. I am grateful for all of the goodness in my life. I am grateful for all of the goodness in my life. From here, slowly begin to bend the knees, lower the legs back down. Actually, if you have a wall nearby, make your way to the wall. But if you don't, you can just keep the legs lifted in your waterfall pose for the next 2 poses. But if you do have a wall, you can lower the feet down, press into the feet to lift yourself off any props that you're using, and then carefully lower yourself back down. Make your way to a wall. Use this wall. And once you get to the wall, if you're using a wall, you'll bring one hip right up against the wall, begin to lift the legs up, and then scoot the butt in as close to the wall as you can get it. And then from here, everyone, even if you're still in your waterfall on your props, bring the soles of the feet together, knees open wide into your butterfly with legs up the wall. You can either bring the arms down by the sides or maybe bring the hands to the belly. Once again, close the eyes, relax the face, focus on the breath. I love and accept myself. I love and accept myself. From here, slowly begin to lengthen the legs back up the wall if you're using the wall. If you're still on your props, your blocks or pillows or whatever you're using, just lengthen the legs back up towards the sky. You can relax them as much as you need as you can, but still keeping this shape or keeping the legs up the wall. Legs don't have to be perfectly straight, they can be bent. Maybe even bring the soles of the feet onto the wall if you'd like. Hands or arms either down by the sides or place them over the belly. Feel the belly rise with every inhale and then lower with every exhale. I am connected with the wisdom of the universe. I am connected with the wisdom of the universe. From here, if you're at the wall, carefully just take a few, just step yourself slightly away from the wall. You can still have the soles of the feet on the wall if you'd like, with the knees bent at a 90-degree angle. And if you are on your block or props, you'll bring the feet down, press into the feet to lift the hips so you can remove your blocks, lower down, and just come to lie on your back. Everyone bring their arms out to a T with the palms facing up. Take an inhale here. And if you're not using the wall, just bring your knees to a 90-degree bend. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, gently let the legs fall over to the left. Try to keep that right shoulder grounded. And you can bring the gaze over the right shoulder if that feels okay on your neck. If not, just keep it pointing straight up at the sky. Maybe you bring the left hand to the right outer thigh to give yourself a little assist. And let the eyes close. Breathe deep into the belly. Focus on the breath. Find stillness. I live life through my higher self. I live life through my higher self. On your next inhale, gently lift the legs back up through center. Maybe walk your feet along the wall if you're using one. And then as you exhale, gently let the legs fall over to the right side. Left shoulder stays grounded. Right hand can come to the outer left thigh if you'd like. Gaze is either straight up at the sky or over the left shoulder if that feels okay on your neck. Close the eyes. Breathe deep into the belly. Wringing out those those internal organs as you breathe in and out in this twist. I am at peace. I am at peace. On your next inhale, gently lift the legs back up through center, and then make your way to your Shavasana. So either lying on the back with the arms down by the sides, palms face up, legs out long in front of you. Or if you'd like to bring the legs up the wall again, if you have a wall nearby that you were using, you can do that for your Shavasana. And then once you've made it to your Shavasana, close the eyes, relax the face, snuggle the shoulder blades underneath the back, tuck the chin slightly so the back of the neck is long. Be present, let go of your thoughts, notice them, observe them, then let them go with each exhale. Maybe coming back to that visualization of that glowing purple or white orb or lotus flower right at the top of the head, growing bigger and brighter with each breath that you take. Slowly begin to let the breath return to its natural state, releasing any breath control. Still breathing, still letting go of your thoughts, still being present, finding stillness. Shavasana. A short little poem for you to meditate on in your Shavasana. It is called Who Wants by, I'm going to mess this name up because I don't know. Hadewijh the Second. Sorry, I don't. It's spelled Hadewijk the second. You who want knowledge, seek the oneness within. There you will find the clear mirror already waiting. If you'd like to stay in your Shavasana longer, please do. But if you're ready to come out, start by deepening the breath. Wiggle the fingers and toes. Circle the ankles and wrists. Rock the head from side to side. Then reach the arms up overhead. If you're not up against the wall, reach the legs out long in front of you for a nice morning stretch. If you're up against the wall, just reach the arms up. Then carefully roll over onto your left side. Put you in a fetal position shape. You can rest here for a moment. Then whenever you're ready, try to keep the eyes closed or a soft gaze, and carefully make your way up into a comfortable cross-legged seat at the top of your mat. Once you've arrived, re-close the eyes if you opened them. Sit up nice and tall, actually also taller than you have all day. On an inhale, reach the arms up, come back into that lotus mudra at the top. Exhale through the mouth, bring your lotus mudra to heart center. Bow the chin towards the heart. And take a moment to thank yourself for carving this time out of your day to connect to your breath, to connect to the universe, and to do something good for the body and mind. And I thank you for joining me. Thank you for sharing your breath with me, your space with me. And yeah, I'm going to end with a quote from Gabrielle Bernstein. And it goes, "The key to serenity is trusting that the universe has your back." The key to serenity is trusting that the universe has your back. From here, bring the lotus mudra up to the third eye space. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Hope you had a good class. If you haven't been here before and you like this class, you can subscribe to my channel, and you can always rewatch any of my classes after I post them because they are all up on my YouTube channel. So if you're unable to do a live stream, you can just do any of my classes on your own time. And then let me know if there's anything you want to work on in any future classes, whether it's something physical like poses or parts of the body you want to work on stretching out or strengthening. Or if there's like mental, spiritual things that you want to work on, like chakras or something else. Let me know. And thank you again. Please join me for my last Crown Chakra class of this chakra series, which is Saturday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time for an energizing vinyasa flow. So kind of the opposite of this class. I'm going to give you more options to get into intermediate and advanced poses if you'd like. It'll be more strength and flexibility building and moving a lot faster. So the opposite of this class. But it's always good to do yin. I highly recommend yin yoga for everyone because it's awesome. Thank you again for joining me. Please donate if you can. My Venmo, PayPal, Cash App information is all on my YouTube channel, also on my Facebook and Instagram. And if you can't find it for some reason, you can shoot me a message. I'm unable to work right now because I'm still quarantining. But so if you can donate, anything helps. If you can't, it's all good. Thank you again, and have a good night. I noticed some people posted some things. Yes, I can do that for the foot stretches. But anywho, say bye. It's bye. Minky says bye. Have a good night. Oh, I'm sorry.